What's up, YouTube? I'm making this video today to talk about the end time prophecies that are found in the Bible. I'm just going to go over the first one. There's the two important books that are for the last generation are the book of Daniel and the book of Revelations. And the book of Revelations, there's 12 prophecies, and in the book of Daniel, there's 5 prophecies. When you lay these prophecies out, it creates like a map, and it's like a timeline where we can see what has happened in the past, where we are present, and what will occur in the future. So I'm gonna start with the first one. The first one is in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and it's 9:29 through 35. And in this, the first prophecy is basically, it's all the kingdoms that are going to come. It's 7 kingdoms, and with the 7th one being heaven. So that's once we see the first kingdom and then the second kingdom, then we can see where we're at. Now, the first prophecy deals with the king of Nebuchadnezzar. Well, the first prophecy deals with the king of Babylon. His name is Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of a metal man, and with 7 or 6 different sections, and the 7th one being a rock, destroying the image and building the kingdom, which is God's kingdom. Okay, this is Daniel chapter 2, the 29th verse through the 35th verse. And this is the first prophecy.
As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
Okay, so that's prophecy 1. So let's go over that real quick. So we had the head of gold. And we have chest, / arms of silver. Then we have thighs of brass. Then we have the legs, iron. Then we have feet of iron and clay. Then we have a rock. The feet is actually divided up into 2 different sections. So we're going to go on to see if we can get the interpretations of these. Okay, so this is starting on 36th verse.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, but the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beast of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face, and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, Of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret.
Okay, so now we have prophecy 1 written down. You have the head, which is Babylon. We don't know who these are yet, but the head is Babylon, chest, arms of silver, which will take over Babylon. Then this will engulf this. The thighs of brass will engulf these 2 kingdoms, and then this kingdom, the legs of iron, will engulf these 3, and then the feet engulfs that, the toes engulfs these, and then the rock engulfs the whole world. So I'm gonna end it right here. Actually, I'm not gonna end it right here. Let me talk about why I made this video. Because of the recent events that are going on in the world, and it's really this right here. This feet. We're right here in the feet of strong and weak nations, but the Bible says iron and clay. And then when it starts talking about the toes, it says like they're gonna mingle themselves with the seed of man. So that's kind of like what's going on right now, how there's 2 companies. One's Neuralink, by Elon Musk that is basically this: mingling the iron and clay.
Neuralink starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra-thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in your brain. This implant is capable of interpreting your thoughts and applying them to real-life actions.
One person who believes in technology's potential is Elon Musk.
Everything that's encoded in memory, you could upload. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. You could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
And Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos are starting. They have another company that them two are starting or have started.
Some conditions affecting the nerve cells in the body can result in disability. Spinal cord injury, stroke, limb amputation, and motor neuron disease, or ALS, may all cause paralysis, or even loss of the ability to speak. The stentrode is a neural interface designed to overcome paralysis by creating a digital bypass from brain to assistive device. An investigational device, the stentrode is inserted via a catheter into the jugular vein and manoeuvred into the brain without the need for open brain surgery. The sensors are built onto a self-expanding stent that engages into the wall of the vein and which is designed to maintain blood flow. Over time, cells may gradually grow over the sensors and incorporate them into the tissue. The sensors are placed immediately adjacent to the control center in the brain, known as the motor cortex. The patient may be paralyzed, but their motor control center can still be activated simply by thinking. The system is designed to transmit these brain signals out of the brain, out of the vein, and into a unit implanted under the skin in the chest. This unit is programmed to pick up brain signals continuously, and when connected to an external receiver, may send them to a computer. The command center in the brain is now directly connected to software, and the patient would attempt to train their brain for direct operating system control by thinking. Direct brain control of a mouse, a keyboard, exoskeletons, and even vehicles may become possible. Technology to restore independence. Synchron's neural interface technology, enabling people.
So, right here is where I believe that we are. We're slowly but surely, we're not even slowly, we are entering right here very quick into the 10 kings. I believe the United Nations already has the world divided up into 10 regions. So there will be a king over each region. And then once that happens, then God will destroy those kings.